We must be ruthless like George Soros. The man, the mystery, the New World Order guy.
Build back better. Build back better. Build back better. We will build Babylon better. This time, a new world order.
This clip is going viral, Basil. Did George Soros endorse Ron DeSantis?
My hope for 2024 is that Trump and Governor DeSantis of Florida will slug it out for the Republican nomination. Trump has turned into a pitiful figure, continually bemoaning his loss in 2020. Big Republican donors are abandoning him in droves. DeSantis is shrewd, ruthless, and ambitious. He is likely to be a Republican candidate.
Ooh, did you just say he's likely to be a Republican candidate?
He's likely to be the Republican candidate.
Yeah, so the response has been interesting because some people, the DeSantis defenders, started saying, no, that's not an endorsement. That's just Soros commenting on the Republican primary matchup to come. While others are saying, no, that's Soros saying, I prefer a DeSantis.
Exactly. He's preferring DeSantis because he wants to split the Republican vote.
Yes.
And that's obvious. Anybody thinking, the only people trying to get you to think that he's endorsing as a candidate DeSantis are the Democrats. The Democrats want you to think that. Yeah, because they want Trump to run because they, once again, feel like they can beat him, which is, who knows? We'll see. But very, very interesting. Can you imagine being DeSantis and having your name and compliments come out of the mouth of George Soros?
Strong like us.
He definitely paid him compliments and wants DeSantis to win. And I don't know if that's technically an endorsement, but it is. Well, definitely something I never would have imagined.
What's interesting is that he wants the turmoil. Right. Yeah. Within the Republican Party, the Republican arm. He wants chaos.
He knows the chaos in the Republican Party will serve the Democrats.
And his statements there facilitates the chaos. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like, we want these two sides to hate each other.
Exactly.
Or at least, beat each other up. What's the word he used?
He's creating the chaos. I mean, talk about the Hegelian dialectic. George is the master of it. He's the master of funding chaos, which the reaction to such chaos often is what fulfills his desires. Right. Not the chaos itself, but he knows how to play his opponents. And this is an opportunity for Republicans really to fall right into George Soros's hands.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, Fox News picked up on the Soros event here. He was speaking at a German public event. But I thought it was interesting that they went this direction where it's more about geoengineering. This is foxnews.com. George Soros calls for weather control to stop global warming, ice sheets melting. Quote, our civilization is in danger of collapsing. Who doesn't say that? But it says here, left-wing megadonor and billionaire George Soros argued in favor of using an experimental weather control technology to mitigate global warming during a speech in Germany on Thursday. It gives a little bio on
he supports
Soros.
The chemtrails.
He supports the chemtrails. Specifically, this is about refreezing the Arctic, so North and South Pole, freezing them.
I gotta know why, because we have heard this before, that it's bad that the poles are melting. Mm-hmm. Now, number one, let me tell you this. I didn't put in the link, but it was announced, I think it was just today, that the ice in Antarctica is down this year. Yeah. Okay. It goes up and down every year. But the Arctic ice in the north hit a record high. So it's not
getting
that
cold in the middle of the map. It's getting warmer on the outside.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so it's more ice than ever in the North Pole, less ice in the South Pole. What is the benefit of human beings freezing the South Pole? I don't understand what the thing is.
You have to keep the aliens from coming out of the hole, Basil. We got to freeze over the portals.
Yeah,
the opening to the hollow Earth.
Look, even if the more ice in the South Pole is a signal to a healthy climate, and that is not confirmed. But let's say it's their worldview that a frozen South Pole is indicative of a healthy climate. Freezing it ourselves does not mean it's going to cure the climate. It's like you're treating a symptom and not the disease, even by their own worldview. It's just the wildest thing I've ever heard.
So the one that came up with this is Sir David King, not King David. Sir David King, former UK Special Envoy on Climate Change, Chief Scientific Advisor, founder of the Center for Climate Repair at Cambridge University. And Soros really likes this guy. Quote, King has developed a theory which is widely shared by climate scientists. It holds that the global climate system used to be stable, but human intervention disrupted it, Soros continued. The Arctic Circle used to be sealed off from the rest of the world by winds that blew in a predictable circular counterclockwise direction, but man-made climate change broke this isolation.
I don't even think this is true.
I don't think so either. Sounds like some mythology right there.
We read mythology. More about Antarctica than any other podcast on this planet. And if that were something that were true, we would have come in contact with it before. That's like a video game. That's like video game myth. Like when you're playing a game.
Play Soros.
Yeah, there's a zone, that you're not high enough level to go to. There'll be some sort of contrived obstacle that won't let you go there. Let's say Antarctica is level 4, but you're only level 3. And so you can't go there. You got to wait until you get the wind walking boots or something. Then to get past the windstorm. Obviously, a lot of Legend of Zelda influence here. This is Zelda influence here. Zelda. I don't know. It's just weird mythology that I don't think is true.
Yeah. Quote, Sir David King has a plan to repair the climate system. He wants to create the albedo effect by creating white clouds high above the Earth, he added, with proper scientific safeguards. That itself is problematic. Proper scientific safeguards and in consultation with local indigenous communities. This project could help restabilize the Arctic climate system.
Oh, he's talking about the Arctic?
He's talking about the North Arctic, yeah. But it's both. It's both poles, but specifically he's talking about the Arctic.
Right.
Which governs, so he says, the Arctic climate system, which governs the entire global climate system. Quote, the message is clear.
I don't know.
Human interference has destroyed a previously stable system, and human ingenuity, both local and international, will be needed to restore it.
Yeah. So, okay. So are we to believe that he's the one funding the Mexican chemtrail company then?
Maybe.
Because we were talking about it. It makes no sense that the small Mexican startup chemtrail company would just defy the American government and go ahead and announce that they were going to do chemtrails anyways. That makes no sense unless they have the confidence and the backing of someone like George Soros.
But the government's going to get us. Don't worry about the government.
Yeah, exactly.
The people penetrated into the boards. Yeah.
Perhaps. That was a Klaus Schwab quote.
Well, he's referencing Klaus, but they all speak the same language, so it's kind of
sure. I don't know. That's kind of the only thing that makes sense to me.
Yeah, and it makes sense that somebody like a Soros or his type would fund both sides, the eco-terrorism and
people are going to think you're anti-Semitic.
What are you talking about?
You said Soros and his type.
Oh my gosh.
You mean billionaires is what you mean.
Well, yeah, billionaires, controllers, people that have influence and power and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's not just them.
Just
Basil. There's a lot of them.
Clarifying. We are on YouTube today.
Yeah, sure. But it's typical for and throughout history we've seen that a lot of the controllers, the elite, those types, will fund both sides of the war, like you mentioned earlier.
Yep.
And this makes sense. You fund sort of the institutional, world-facing governments and all that kind of stuff, politicians, but also on the back end, you're quietly funding, facilitating, protecting the eco-terrorists, doing their thing and creating havoc and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think that theory is as good as any. I haven't heard anybody mention that this solar engineering company from Mexico who are defying their government and the U.S. government is perhaps connected to Soros or a Soros type of billionaire who's trying to take over everything.
It would be interesting. I don't know if they're not public, they don't have to report it.